More options. So you've finished season 2 of 13 Reasons Why. How are you feeling? Raw? Upset? Devastated? Exhilarated? Netflix's hit teen drama tackles some of the darkest issues facing adolescents head-on and without a filter. So it's no wonder that the show is as popular as it is controversial. However, it's also a show that's really good at delivering a cliffhanger. ****, spoiler alert for all of 13 Reasons Why Season 2 ****, the second season of 13 Reasons Why ended with a metaphoric bang. After enduring an awful, and extremely visceral, rape at school, a very troubled Tyler decided that he would shoot up Liberty High's prom. Thanks to Clay's compassionate pleas, Tyler stood down and left with Tony. But what happens next? Who will get blamed for the attempted shooting? And what's going on with each and every one of our favorite characters? The 13 Reasons Why Season 2 finale raised as many questions as it answered. With that in mind, Team Decider rounded up all our burning questions about how the second season of 13 Reasons Why ended, and we did our best to answer them. What's the deal with Jessica, Justin, and Alex? Jessica, Alicia Bowe, and Alex's Miles Heiser sweet journey back to one another was one of the brighter, more tender storylines in Season 2. The two former flames rekindled their romance trepidatiously, and with complete empathy for all the pain and trauma they each had been through. And then, Jessica hooked up with Justin, Brandon Flynn, at the prom. Justin and Jessica also have history, but it's mired by his part in her rape and his subsequent heroin addiction. Yet, the two obviously are still into each other. So what's going to happen in Season 3, if there is a Season 3? Well, expect Justin's continued heroin abuse to cause friction in his relationship with Jessica, and look out for at least one person to be nursing a broken heart. What's up with pregnant Chloe? Netflix. In one of the more shocking moments in what was already a pretty shocking season finale, Chloe Ann Winters told Jessica that she's pregnant. We didn't see anything else in that scene beyond Jessica's shocked expression, so everything else is up in the air. Who's the father? We have to assume it's Bryce, Justin Prentice, since he's the only guy she was with all season. Bryce ended the season preparing to switch schools for next year, after having gotten a slap on the wrist for raping Jessica. Chloe had been conflicted about Bryce ever since she saw the Polaroid of him raping her while she was drunk and unconscious in the clubhouse. She nearly testified against him in the Baker's trial, before losing her nerve. What to do when you're carrying a monster's baby is going to be a big question for Chloe in Season 3. Photo, Netflix. Where is Tony taking Tyler? After Clay Dylan Minette convinces Tyler Devin Druid not to murder his classmates, Tony Christian Navarro comes speeding up in his car and yells at Tyler to get in. It's a very Terminator moment and most definitely sets up a main storyline for a potential Season 3. So where is Tony taking Tyler? Well, we're not sure. We're betting that Tony will take Tyler to lay low in some new location we haven't been to yet, but maybe, just maybe, he's just taking the kid on a joyride to Monet's. Photo, Netflix. What is Clay going to do with that gun? The final moment of the season sees poor, honest, kind Clay holding Tyler's semi-automatic rifle outside the dance. Jessica and Justin are flanking him and we can hear the sound of sirens in the distance. So, what happens next? Well, obviously we're getting deep into speculative territory, but it seems the show has three options. Clay could try to hide the gun and run, sparking a manhunt. Clay could put the gun on the ground and calmly explain to the police officers what happened. He could use Justin and Jessica as witnesses and get his mom to swoop in as his attorney. After all, both Tyler and Clay's prints are on the gun. Clay could wiggle out of this a hero. The cops could think Clay is the wannabe shooter and next season could be about him taking the fall for Tyler. Gosh, I don't know. Number 2 seems the most sensible on need, which is why we highly doubt 13 Reasons Why will go in that direction. So, it will probably be some kind of combination of one. What's going to happen to Montgomery? Netflix Montgomery de la Cruz, Timothy Granaderos, was a relatively minor character in Season 1. He was part of Bryce Walker's crew of jocks. We saw him playing video games in Bryce's pool house a bunch. One thing we did know about him was that he was a hugely aggressive bully, always needing to be restrained by his friends from harassing the likes of Tyler or Clay. In Big S1 moment, he and Alex got into a fistfight in the parking lot. Season 2 cleared up something about that fight, that Alex was mad at Monty because they sat inside and played video games while Bryce was raping Hannah out in the hot tub. In Season 2, Monty is still mostly a second-tier jock bully who only emerges at the end of the season. Turns out, he was the one who was trying to harass all the Reasons Why into not telling the truth at the Baker's trial. And as the season finale jumps forward a month, we see that Montgomery has gotten in trouble with the police for his crimes and is now persona non grata with Bryce. All of which explains, but by no means excuses, his horrifying beating and sexual assault of Tyler in that infamous scene in the bathroom. That's the last we see of Montgomery for the season. So what's going to happen to him? Now that Clay has talked Tyler down from his plans to shoot up the dance, will Tyler come forward and publicly accuse Monty? Male victims of sexual assault are far less likely to report their crimes. This could be a big story headed into Season 2. Why is Tony on probation in 13 Reasons Why? Early in Season 2, Tony drops a bombshell. He's on probation, so he can't hang out with heroin addicts and play with guns like the rest of his buddies. This detail affects how Tony acts all throughout Season 2, forcing the dynamic unhelpful Yoda to take on more of a background role. But viewers have good reason to be confused by the 2 strikes against Tony. The crimes that led to his probation were largely committed off-screen. Tony is on probation for 2 different instances of assault. The first happened when Tony and his brothers attacked a man who had been harassing their sister. The second happened while he was on a date with his then-boyfriend Ryan, Tommy Dorfman. In the middle of their date, a stranger called Tony and Ryan the F-word, and he lost it. So yeah, that's why Tony is always boxing. Here's helping Tyler and Justin doesn't add a 3rd strike to his record. Photo, Netflix. Who's the guy stalking Justin? Poor, misunderstood Justin. After running away from home, becoming a heroin addict, being rejected by the woman he loves on multiple occasions, feeling pressure to testify, and getting arrested, something nice finally happens to this lovable runaway. Clay's family offers to adopt him. But when he's at his happiest, a mysterious man glares in Justin's direction. Who is this creep? That would be Justin's mother's boyfriend Seth, Matthew Allen. If there's a second monster in 13 Reasons Why who isn't Bryce Walker, that monster would be Seth. Not only is he verbally and physically abusive to Justin and his mom, but he's also the reason why Justin ran away in the first place. He even tried to beat up Mr. Porter, Derek Luke. So far, Justin has stolen money from Seth twice. Since Seth's not really the forgiving type, that's probably why he's stalking this teen. Are Justin's mom and her boyfriend going to come back in Season 3? Probably. The ominous glare Seth gives Justin implies that this abusive jerk isn't done harassing his girlfriend's kid. But there's also the matter of adoption. Clay's mom, Amy Hargreaves, seems to be a pretty good, if not morally questionable, lawyer, but even she likely can't adopt a kid without getting the child's birth parent involved. Regardless, there's definitely more family drama in Justin's future. Photo: Netflix. Is Justin still addicted to heroin? He's definitely using again. Justin started shooting while he was living on the street, but thanks to Clay, Tony, and Sherry, Adriana, Alexis, he was able to get clean again. Season 2 ends with Justin lounging on Clay's bed while everyone goes to the dance. Everything seems nice and peaceful until Justin pulls out his collection of needles. Considering that drug addiction is incredibly difficult to beat and the fact that Clay's parents are very much not on board with teenagers using, you can bet this is going to be a major secret as well as a huge source of tension if there is a next season. Netflix. Is Hannah's ghost gone now? One of the major through lines of Season 2 was that even though Clay had finished listening to the tapes, Hannah, Catherine Langford, was not through talking to him. Now, she appeared as an apparition, a ghost, a voice in his head, his own guilt manifested, who was constantly challenging Clay to do better, to be more empathetic to the other kids, and mostly to be a sounding board for all of Clay's residual anger. In the season finale, as Clay delivers his eulogy at Hannah's memorial, he ends up speaking directly to Hannah. He tells her how much he loves her, and that he's ready to let her go. So Hannah, finally, goes. It certainly feels like an ending, with Hannah headed out of the church and into that white light lost style. With Hannah's mother also leaving town in the finale, it feels like Hannah's story has been fully told. And with Clay taking up narration duties, it seems like Clay might be ready to tell his own. Where to stream 13 Reasons Why? 13 Reasons Why Dylan Minnette. Netflix.